Gavan. I am your GM in the Great Barrier. This is Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword. It is also our third session of the season finale adventure. And I've been made aware that there's apparently one other question, but somebody was muted, so in a segment that I will edit out, Sean, what is your question?
Well, I was just going to say, Cheesy's not here, but I know what his question would be.
True.
But I know the answer, so I'm not going to actually ask it.
True. This remains in the edit.
Get out of my way, gay boy. I'll ask it. Where did babies come from?
Leave it to Ray to pull the hold my bloodline.
Back into the tumble dryer.
Yep. I'm sure that the squeeze will start up again soon. All right. In any case, in all seriousness, we are about to continue our season finale adventure, and all whilst also getting a Quatlu spend from our very own Lieutenant Eula Shira of the Aegis game. Thanks, Craig, for dropping in. Merry Kaplamas to you as well. Or Kaplamas. In any case, you guys do have a right off the bat, once we get going, the first task that you conduct will be performed at a reduced difficulty.
Wait, it's not Life Day?
No, it is not. That is the wrong universe, you very tall, hairy gentleman.
Do you want him to take threat right off the bat? Because that's how you get threat taken right off the bat.
That's how you get ants.
I won't go for the obvious Ghostbusters reference here. We're just going to barrel on with mentions of, before we get started here and before recapping, just a reminder of all the other fun things that some of our very talented group does. In particular, I'm going to invert the order here and give mention first to our one-time podcaster, presently Fallout streamer, and alongside the Fallout for Hope, mention our good friend, the OverlandGamer. Tell us, Joe, anything going on over at the channel right now particularly fun?
Well, we've passed $32,000 for Fallout for Hope as a group for the whole group, which is fantastic. Raising money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. I've been streaming Fallout 4 quite a bit, and having some fun with that. I streamed some Fallout Minecraft the other day, which is just Minecraft with the Fallout skin, which has been fun. And I'm finishing up some Fallout 2D20 adventures that will run soon. So exciting times ahead.
Yeah, definitely things to look forward to. Yeah, and definitely for those of you in the chat, if it's something you're interested in, feel free to look up anything Fallout for Hope related. It is a good charity. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. That goes to St. Jude's, charity wise.
Yes.
Very good.
It goes to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Very good. A worthwhile institution and cause.
Goes till the December 30th, so you've got plenty of time even after the stream tonight to check it out.
Indeed.
St. Jude's, we've got some cash.
Indeed. Also on the
Sorry, I'm a little giddy.
Quite all right. Also running some streams of their own. We have our resident ship's engineer, played by Caligo, who tell us what you've got going on over at your channel over on Xyla OXO.
Nothing too much on the channel. I finished the playtest for the Arknights tabletop RPG.
Oh, how was that?
Let me post a picture about how this is the one time I felt happy about killing a player.
Oh dear.
And what they did with their fucking stats.
Oh dear. What the? What?
Whoa, wait a minute now.
Let's see. The rest of you are going to have to live in suspense, partly because I don't fully understand the numbers, but maybe I will drop it on the socials if Caligo is so permitting.
It's allowed.
Yeah.
It was posted on the Discord server for the game.
Oh yes.
Somebody appears to have practically maxed out all of their stats.
No, just one of them.
Yeah, they maxed out one.
Basically, they built a spell that let them steal 20 points of intelligence from everyone on the map.
God.
With the resist DC being so high, it was not even worth rolling.
Oh.
I proceeded to kill them 3 turns later.
You know, there are sometimes there are just people that you feel like that when you spend time with them that they just make everyone dumber, and they gotta go.
Yeah. I threw a bomb on them,
and in this case, it was literal.
Yes, literally a bomb.
Excellent.
A block of C4.
Excellent. Their tower defense was no match for bomb.
It was not.
Oh, good stuff. Well, I hope that all of you guys enjoy that, and yeah, the things to keep an eye open for. Until, for those of you checking this in the archive whenever we get it out to you, do be sure to check out our players. They do fun things, and drop by the Discord where you may see just absurd stat blocks at different points among other fun little projects. As we get to the season 2 finales, I might post a few more errant things there just while we're as we go into the holidays and such. Keep an eye open. But with all that, let's get right into the session and a quick recap. The Jan, after some months searching for their lost Kzinti crew member, Woe, they finally have uncovered a lead, one that took them along a smuggler's route through a narrow segment of subspace, the Sikaval Gyre, where warp travel was extremely difficult. Setting up an ambush at a narrow point in the gyre, the Jan was able to incapacitate a freighter, killing most of its crew and taking the captain aboard. Under interrogation, assisted by a very dangerous spore-type life form that you had encountered some months back on an ocean-covered world, the doctor, Kresik, has extracted some information from the prisoner and is aware that he may have dropped cargo for the marauding crew led by other Kzinti in a hold somewhere out in the Azure Nebula. This is one of the most prominent astrographical features in the region, a large stellar nursery that is also on major subspace currents and that are a major point of transit for anyone heading in and out of this end of the Klingon Empire. It is replete with raiders, marauders, traitors, and all manner of other folks. It is also quite difficult to see things beyond the established routes, which this will definitely take you out of.
Was that traders or traitors?
Ders, with a D, traitors. I apologize, I did not enunciate properly. There's an interesting traitorous faction somewhere to the north, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. they're in the triangle. We can talk about the history of the Imperial Klingon states at a later point in time. I'm sure. Who knows? Maybe just maybe. You never know what might come up. All of that said, yes, there was
Helmsman, set course for that area. Maximum warp.
God damn it. In any case,
That's your own fault, sir.
yep. The Yan, at any rate, is after transiting through the narrow point in the gyre, has set course for the nebula at maximum warp, pending any sudden decisions to go meet a rebellious Klingon general and his narrow fleet that he and planets that he commands. Really messy situation.
Is that that place where I would find my brother?
No, different group of. This is more like a small military despotism as opposed to religious extremists.
Gotcha.
The tin pot dictator, if you will.
Gotcha.
Backed by some nobility, quote unquote. At any rate, the An is presently on course for the Azure Nebula. For our purposes, I imagine that we would skip ahead to the tail end of that journey with the past week spent in transit. I will, of course, allow you guys to have an opportunity to take some scenes if you want to have any interactions amongst the group. I would only say probably won't be doing anything with Traven unless absolutely necessary. I can NPC him for the time being, but it would obviously make more sense to wait. So, en route, would anyone like to volunteer a starting scene? Would anyone have strong preferences?
No, I think I'm pretty good myself. I can't think of anything to do at the moment. But then I wasn't here last week, so I was waiting for the aforementioned potential recap.
Indeed. And that potential has become something actual, so you at least have something here. I do have something I could give you, Sean, if nobody else is doing things at the moment, and it would help further reinforce aforementioned recap as well.
Go for it.
All right. That being the case, then, we will move things down into the cargo bay, where you are presently taking stock, Tabok. After your successful raid, the battle on the freighter went very well, and you have come away with a particularly interesting bit of cargo, though quite a dangerous one. Something which Chemok is going over with, Yeah, so I haven't broken them open because that'd be bad for the ship, but the thermal barracks, the canisters, they could make a pretty big boom if it's an atmosphere. Gas of dense.
What about inside? What about it if it goes off inside a ship?
Oh yeah, that'd be bad. I'd say we'd burn up the atmosphere in here pretty bad.
Oh no, I mean somebody else's ship maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah. Be pretty bad on the airship too.
Good.
Hey, I don't know if you heard this. I can think of the one people that'd be worse for than us would be. I hear out in the western marches of the Empire. There's these people they got that some of the Navy fights that they've got 3 arms and 3 legs and 3 eyes, and you get the idea there. But apparently they breathe methane.
Oh.
So it'd be a really big boom in their ship too.
Absolutely. That would be most entertaining. Should we come across,
Yeah.
should we come across any of them?
Oh,
How many of these do we have? These thermobaric charges.
well, I should clarify here. They're not exactly like the full charge yet. It's more like components for the warhead, the bits that would make the boom.
Uh-huh.
We've got enough of a canister. We've got enough canisters that we collected from it. We could, well, we could probably modify torpedoes if we wanted to do that. Pretty much all of our complement, though. Kind of, well, antimatter would probably annihilate it anyway. We could build as many torpedoes of these if we wanted to. If we, had a place to set on fire. We'd just,
Still
need.
want 'em. Okay. Mr. GM, are we expecting anybody in any more space combat? Have we determined whether or not our foes have a ship we might need to tackle?
All that you have learned, Tabak, is that the pirates operate out of there's some sort of small outpost where the freighter drops its cargo from time to time. That seems probable it would have something to do with the pirates who abducted Woe. Anything more than that you don't know, but you can at least say that this, like, from the description, it's a small outpost. It's not something that's self-sustaining and probably doesn't even have, like, people there regularly, so you could expect that you might have to deal with a ship.
All right. All right, Hammock, I want you to convert 2 photon torpedoes.
Oh.
At least. But what I want is I want the thermobaric capability installed in the torpedo casings, and I want those 2 torpedoes on a cargo transporter pad.
Okay. I can do that. I'll talk to the. I'll bring it up with the one lady or Raldar, the big guy, not the biggest guy.
No, I know who you meant.
I'm
not talking junior.
I don't think the biggest guy's too good at engineering yet.
He can engineer the end of someone's life, and for me, that's enough.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, what I want is 2 of those rigged to go with the full thermobaric capability and ready to be transported should I have to call for it.
All right. Will do, my lord, he says, tapping his fist to his chest, really, like, practically pounding it on his, on the makeshift armor he has.
Yep. Giving him a chance to be creative and blow shit up, which is what he's meant to do.
Yep. He immediately starts grabbing tools and lifting open crates and begins fumbling around with the containers. Yeah. No, it is good, Tabak, to have this bit of forward momentum, and for the first time to be able to do so with in a situation very much under your own control and of your own design here. Obviously, not every mission that you've embarked on lately has given you that level of control in the situation, but you.
I'm getting Woe back.
Yes, you and
I don't care. I don't care who I have to blow up. I'm getting my friend back.
Yes.
If I have to blow up the High Council, I will.
If I have to blow up Woe, I am getting her back.
No. This is, a good threat or simple revenge after the fact.
No, it's the thought that counts.
Absolutely.
In any case, yes. So, with that, you are able to set about the ship, and ready yourself as much as the rest of the crew are doing. They are united in purpose, and it is one very much of your desire at this point. So it's all welcome news. Going around the ship, we don't necessarily need to do scenes, but if you want to add any flavor, for those that at least have main characters on the ship, we can bring up a little bit of what's going on. Raldar, would there be anything in particular you'd be up to, either in the engine room or with Dar, anything of the sort?
Nothing specific at the moment.
Just the routine maintenance to ensure that everything goes to plan and that...
Who knows before we're blown up again?
Yep, a sentiment I'm sure many share. Alright. Doctor, I know there's obviously one thing that you've been doing. Would there be...
Yes.
Would you want to have any sort of moment in sickbay, or just make any comments to how the doctor is running things right now?
Only if someone wants to come and visit him and see what he's doing. Otherwise, I can just narrate what he's been doing, and if a role is needed, do a role.
Yes, fair enough, fair enough. Does anybody feel like a trip by sickbay?
You know
I'll
what?
do it.
Okay.
Women's checkup.
Everyone can go. It's fine. We can all join.
It's
Everybody
time
loves
for our
midday.
It's time for the post-battle checkup.
Yep.
And is it post or is it pre? Both.
Yes,
mid.
It's inter battle
Intra.
checkup. Yeah.
This is the
Intra
short
battle.
rest. This is the short rest between
It's a
long rest.
Klingon. It's a Klingon ship. It's always pre or post battle. Don't worry about it.
Oh dear. So we're going to have the comedic doors open and everyone shows up at the same time. Or try to.
No. It's okay. Let. I already had my scene. Let somebody else have a scene.
Fair enough.
I don't want to.
Though I was
hog the friggin' spotlight. I am
fully prepared to do the DS9 bit where everyone visited Major Kira as she was trying to pack up.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. For those of you that want to show up, give me just a flat D20 roll if you are able. If you are not, let me know so that I can roll for you.
Let me find my D20 real quick.
I see a 12 from Raldar. A 12 from... I think in this case, since I'm presuming you might be bringing in... would you be bringing in Betty for this?
I would be Davis.
Yes, Davis.
Yeah, I'd be Betty Davis.
Yes. We'll start off with Raldar, since giving the characters their due, and we can bring the supporting character in as follow-up here.
Okay.
So let's go to sickbay right now. Doctor, would you be in the office or out in the main sickbay?
If our guest is in a cooperative mood, we're playing cards, or an equivalent of cards, as I am subconsciously testing this, well, not subconsciously, but innocuously testing the baseline that I've set. But I don't know in what kind of a mood our passenger is.
Well, he, at the very least, the impression he's given you, Doctor, is that he kind of feels like he doesn't have much alternative, and he's also bored as shit. So, may as well. He will indulge you with a pack of, like, it's actually a good question. Would Kresic have pulled from a deck of, like, would it be like something that someone around the ship had? Is it like a inexplicable pack of human cards that he acquired at some point? Don't ask him how he got them. Or is
It would
some third option?
Ideally, it would be games of some sort that that our passenger knows, and Kresik does not.
Gotcha.
I don't know if
Like
Klingons
it.
have card games. I know they have it's beta canon, but they have Klinzai, which is their version of chess.
They have varied games of chance. The
I'm playing
gentleman.
Warhammer.
Oh, I'm sure they have war games. Oh god, yes. Never
Yes,
mind.
yes. No, you haven't played Warhammer until you've done it in the original Klingon.
That actually is surprisingly like not far off from sounding like something that would be real.
Yes.
You still have to take out an extra loan on your ship just to be able to afford the minis to be able to play it, though.
Oh, the Darsics.
Yeah, and until replicators get invented.
Yep.
No, somehow
Defeat your opponent. Take
Wizards
their
of
minis.
somehow Wizards of the Quadrant got their hands on it. It's a Ferengi company, and they're making you pay for everything.
Oh, the pain. The pain.
As we crumble in 3 different genres all at once.
Yep.
In any case, I think that I'm going to say that the man has short of something extremely dumb like trying to play you in rock paper scissors or something of the like. I'm going to say he has a pack of very beat up cards of some persuasion on his hand and is attempting to explain some sort of game. As far as you know, the rules sound sound like Fizbin to you, but it's all nonsense.
I'm trying to glean it from him. Less listen to him and more intuit it from him.
Indeed, working as you are from the from a certain advantage you have attempted to give yourself.
While my incubator is still incubating my version 2.0.
Yes, yes. I will ask, Doctor, in terms of what you administered last session, is there anything slowing down its growth or plotted in such a manner, or is it?
Yeah. It's not designed to. It's basically the one. It's infertile, so it's not like going to spread. It's sterilized.
Okay, you bred a version of the or like synthesized something along its lines that you were aiming to be more selective. I feel like since the previous conversation, it sounded like we had gone with the life form that was just in the canister that Traven had.
Yeah.
I might ask you retroactively for a roll here because I'm not sure that we actually did that proper. And well,
Let me see. What role did I do for that?
I'm genuinely uncertain. And
I did do a roll for it.
Okay,
Insight and medicine is what I did,
gotcha.
and I got
that's-
3 successes on it.
Okay. Let's for now. Tell you what. For now, I'll allow the broad contours of this, and we'll see how things go from here.
Yeah, I was imagining doing another roll for version 2.0 anyways. So.
Yes. In the meantime, let's see how you are intuiting with your your patient. May I ask you for an insight, and I'll give you medicine here with the psychoanalysis focus.
Beautiful. Difficulty? Or is it opposed?
I think he will oppose it here,
Okay.
but he will. Let's see. By virtue of the trait in question, I'm pondering how best to give you an advantage here. I might increase his complication range since he is trying to lie to you. Or bluff.
Okay.
Honesty is important here. Since you're
We
taking...
tie.
Yes, but since you are taking the initiative here to guess at him, you know, so he's explaining. All right. Now, we've gone through a couple training hands, so I'm going to guess at this point that you're still probably uncertain. I'd say you could afford to raise the ante a little bit and be mostly fine here. Let me give him a quick roll to see what his cards look like. Okay. He has a good draw here, so I think that he is trying to bluff you into see it. Like, he thinks he has a better chance than not of beating you, though he's not entirely certain. So he's trying to bait you into seeing if you're like willing to give in to him. I'd like to think that the training stuff that he has done, or like the hands before that you may have played, he probably let you win on some of those, or explained very clearly how it
Right.
bent in your favor.
So based on his feeling and my hand, do I think I have a chance of winning?
Let's see. I will say. Yeah, I'm going to do this slightly differently. Let's make this We'll make this determined by a dice roll here, and that is to say, give me your let's call it 4 challenge dice on the roller there. I'm improvising a card game here. Oh, you actually, from what little you understand and the values you've assigned to the cards, he's still got an edge on you, I think.
Okay. So he is not going to take the bait.
All right. So you do not
And going to
wager.
continue playing out the hand.
Yeah.
He does not wager more.
Yeah. You put up the bare minimum of life points or whatever. You effectively call his what he has and force him to show that indeed you would have suffered a greater loss if you had won this. All right, beginner's luck. Oh,
You suspect he's got a Black Lotus hidden in there somewhere.
yes. Everybody just feel free to insert a card roll as it comes in, regardless of whether it's appropriate or not. He starts debating how to tap his mana as best as possible. And
I play Pot of Greed.
And you are saying that these elemental energies power these creatures' attacks?
Yes, that's quite right here. Of course, you gotta be mindful. You don't want to. You don't want the other side to know what monster they have beforehand, because if they call it out, then they can take it from you.
And were this played on an electronic table, you would have to place any cards you wish to lock in face up. Otherwise, they will be randomized.
Indeed. You're catching on quite a bit.
And it's always better, too, if you've got 3 of a kind.
Yes. And the one thing you don't want to draw, the one card you want to avoid at all costs is the Ancient Crone. Never draw the Ancient Crone.
Interesting. About that time, he sees the door is open, sees Reldar walk in. Yes.
Don't tell me there's more of you people on this ship.
I did tell you I was the high researcher.
Oh, so what's he? The low researcher? Lower than that? Janitor?
He's not going to answer, but he is very tickled by that.
kind of like at the same time, a wry smile comes across the Rigelian man as he jokes at your expense, Raldar.
He wishes.
What could I do for you?
Here for the post-battle checkups you've been requesting we do more of.
Good. He hears a ding come from his office. The microwave is done.
Oh dear.
Please step into my office. I have business to attend to. We can do a quick survey there.
Very well.
All right. So the two of you make your way into the office of the sick bay. Doctor, you see that the equipment, which I'm guessing is some, at this point, combination of what you could make with what you could do with Klingon technology and modify with the bits of Gorn tech that you still have to work on this. I will ask, and we will resolve as the conversation continues here, but I will ask for I'm going to call this a control medicine to synthesize it. The difficulty at the very least is going to be 2 to determine whether this is viable. But I may increase a threshold depending on what you want it to be able to do.
Understandable. Hey, Joe, how many points of momentum do we have?
42. I don't know. Roll 20 is not loading for me at the moment. We have 5.
Okay, yes.
We
5.
should be down to 4 probably, right? Because we started a new session.
Ray has threats, so I don't know how that works, but if we've got 4, that's fine.
Well, it's certainly nothing to use there.
To worry about.
I'm going to vaporize a bot real quick.
Do you mind if I spend one to get an extra die? I'll be able to reroll with that and probably net us some more momentum.
Go
ahead.
And one of my focuses applied. Complication range? GM?
I will not increase it. I am, however, taking threat for unauthorized use of the soundboard.
Wow.
You were vaporizing a bot.
Vaporizing, not drinking their bones.
Well, I thought we sent the boopsie after him anyway. Somebody's got to feed it.
Bots are boneless creatures anyways. Now we gotta deal with Moopsie.
The finale has taken a turn.
Oops, that was accidentally presence in medicine, but
I believe that presence is a worse stat for you anyway.
it is.
Is it?
So I'm gonna re-roll that 1-0 since I have cautious medicine. It is a much worse stat. Also, crit range is medicine, so it's fine. Okay.
Yep. Okay, that is 5 points of 5 points of threat. 5 points of threat. 5 successes there. So at this point, I feel like I won't exactly tell you. You can do whatever you goddamn please, but I am very interested in knowing what constitutes a sort of maximum success for you.
Share with the class, please.
All right. So as Kresic is working on Raldar with one hand, just absent-mindedly scanning him, Raldar wasn't really involved in the fight. He should be fine. With his other hand, he is popping out these vials of something. And he's talking with Raldar. You served with the Klingons, right?
Correct.
And you are familiar then with what Captain Tabok spoke of as a mind sifter.
I've heard some words of it.
What do you know of it?
It is an insidious device, in my own opinion. They deceive your brain, I believe, moving around synaptic signals that they should not touch. An
It is.
improper interrogation, in my opinion.
It is unfortunate I was never able to procure one, but it is technology, and technology stagnates. But this should prove far more useful in our future. As he holds out one of the vials of this faint greenish cloud.
Some kind of serum.
You remember the organism you murdered.
Well, I've murdered a lot of organisms. I think you need to be more direct.
The one on the planet that was infiltrating mines.
Yes, the connector organism.
It called itself Choir.
Choir.
I was on the verge of making a substantial breakthrough with it when you so unfortunately ended most of its existence.
I acted within the bounds of my orders.
You acted narrow-mindedly, but that is not important. There was a small amount which survived, which myself and the worm have been cultivating.
I see.
I tested it on our passenger and it seemed still effective. So I thought to modify it.
So you have, very likely against the will of the passenger, infested them with a mind-altering organism.
It will die out within the next 3 days. Do you remember the fungus on that first world?
Yes.
By splicing genetic materials from both Choir and this fungus, I believe I have created a method of entering and extracting past memories from those whom I deem it necessary.
I see. Intriguing. Innovative, perhaps even.
It will be useful in ensuring that we can repair any damage that the prisoners that has been done to Woe. They will be unlikely to provide that information willingly.
I see.
And seeing as I was the only being dealing with the original Choir logically and calmly as a friend and not a threat, I believe it will be quite willing to work with me.
I see.
Krasik, is your middle name Mengele?
No, absolutely not.
And will this so-called wire have the same effects upon people as it had before?
It should only work in one direction, toward me.
I see.
A more efficient version of this sifter.
I see.
I just keep picturing Vicini in my head. You'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
I see. I see. Manipulating an organism to your own benefits.
Saving a creature from certain death and giving it a chance to continue existing in a method.
That is wholly beneficial to you.
Not wholly. It will likely be quite unpleasant.
Stop teasing us and kiss already.
It will likely be most unpleasant.
I see.
And he is going to give you a full clean bill of health. You are fit to return to battle or engineering, wherever you are needed now.
Believe. I think Lynn will be coming soon. Something about after dropping off those weapons.
Good. She seems useful.
I have not spoken with her much. What is your opinion of her?
Soft-skinned, but heavily modified mechanically, so it is imperfect, but effective.
Intriguing. Yeah. Well. Enjoy the rest of your day, Doctor.
You too.
Stepping out.
And I am going to, after he steps out, I'm going to take one of the vials, the largest one, and I'm going to inject myself with it. To give myself the trait, and GM, you can arbiter this. Host of the Neo Choir.
Oh dear. I already have some things in mind for the trait, and if not during this session, I will have it fully updated before next. But suffice to say, for the next few days, you will bear the trait.
Excellent.
For half a second, I thought you were going to pull a rat maneuver and stab Raldar in the back with it.
No! Oh my god!
Yep.
The paranoia kicking in.
Yep. Raldar, stepping out into the medical bay. By this point, I think it would be safe to say, so long as you're okay with it, Ray, that Davis would be present in here. Which, if true, let's see, the Rigelian captain says, how would you like to try your luck at a little innocent card game?
Well, I never. She stumbles into the room. She does like a slap at him like you would if you had a purse in your hand, like, but she doesn't have a purse, so it just really full impact hits this man. And can I roll for damage on that?
If I could find the sheet, absolutely. I cannot find Davis's sheet for the life of me for some reason, so I'm just going to say roll damage with unarmed strike using Woe's stats. Just for the fun of it.
God. All
I
right.
figure, robot or I guess android is technically more correct here. You probably could do about as much damage. Yeah, that is 5 points of damage. That's going to knock him down. That's enough for an injury. So there, you hear a crack as you indignantly slap him. And he goes down to the... just head falls right against the bed rest.
Do I feel that?
What?
Do I feel that?
Yes. Which is weird, Kresic, because you at once feel the rest of your limbs, and that yet you almost feel like you don't. Just for a moment.
He comes stumbling out. What is happening in my medical bay?
Well, this young man seemed to have hurt himself, and I was just helping him onto a bed. Isn't that right, sir? She does like a sassy blink at him, but it's very mechanically slow, and it looks more seductive than anything.
I have no idea who this Orion is. They just knocked out your patient.
Raldar has not
She
been
turns
paying
to
attention.
Raldar is too busy.
I think you should rethink your summation of events, sir.
I don't think I will.
I think everybody is going to calm down, or they are no longer given the privilege of visiting my medical facilities. And remember, I am the only doctor aboard this ship.
The only one that anyone cares about.
All right. Well, she turns to the doctor. I don't know what is going on with this body, but can you look at it?
What?
This body, she points to herself, is weird. I can't speak in a normal tone, and I cannot make the stink turn off. I'm giving myself a headache, okay? Can you fix me?
Kresic is thoroughly confused because he has no idea what this is about. He was not there.
Yeah, ironically enough, this was something that happened almost entirely with Traven, whose player is not here, Sean, Tabak, who was not here to play them at the time when Betty introduced herself in the Orion Pleasure Bot that she downloaded into, and Lynn, who is not here and probably didn't care to tell anybody else.
Well, I mean, Lynn's on her way.
Fair.
Lynn's the only one
What
who has
do you mean? What do you mean, body? And why do you sound like that voice in the ship?
I am that voice on the ship. I am in this degenerate. For the time being, I have borrowed whatever they are. And I would like you to please make it work a little better, because I don't have full control over this thing yet. And it's starting to bug me a little bit. Look at this. Look at this. She holds out her arm. It's flopping perfectly. What am I supposed to do with this?
First, let me make sure you didn't hurt my patient and our passenger.
Oh, he's fine. I barely did anything.
Numerous warning indicators are going off on vital signs.
Concussion.
It was a love tap at best.
There is spinal trauma.
A love tap from a gorilla, maybe.
He'll be better. He just needs to walk it off, okay? He'll be fine.
That was said
That's
in character.
not that's not how medicine works.
It's like, this man isn't walking anytime soon without medical intervention.
It was a love tap. There's spinal trauma.
So first things first, he's going to stabilize his patient, who is in danger.
Daring and medicine, please. You most certainly have
good
a
at that.
focus that works.
I'm good at this, except for the daring part. But the medicine part carries us through.
Yep.
Medicine.
He is stabilized.
I don't know why you had to go through all that trouble. You could have just given him aspirin and analgesic. It would have been fine.
You think Klingons have that?
That's a Rigelian, you dummy.
We're on a Klingon ship.
We have a Gorn doctor. Shut up.
At least somebody knows what a Gorn is.
So that's
I would like to not, but here we are. She pulls her clothes like she's trying to straighten her church clothes, and she realized she doesn't have a nice jacket on or anything like a nice jacket on.
All right. He's gonna approach with a medical scanner and try and scan this definitely organic being.
So this
Most
is what
assuredly.
Oh, so this is what you sound like when you're not trying to kill us.
Okay, Kresik, reason plus engineering, please.
Thank you. Does my paranormal phenomena focus apply?
Yes, it does.
You know, kind of.
It
does.
Maybe.
Okay. And I do have enhanced ability reason, so at least there's that. So that increases my complication range by 2, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I just need to roll below a 12 or below.
Well,
That was 2 successes.
Yep. Well, Kresik, you understand that so far as the meaty exterior elements that seem somewhat familiar and maybe are partially based on like organically synthesized elements, you wouldn't rule out something that was, say, flash cloned or something of the sort. On the other hand, there are components here that you could definitely tell are not medically. Well, I mean, they don't fall under your wheelhouse, being much more mechanical, and not even like the augmentation that you're used to with Lynn. No, this is wholesale and android with a lot of biological, soft skin, shall we say, elements incorporated throughout. Some of them possibly artificial organs, others devices that are meant to mimic the effect of it, and all with the ready appearance of seeming to be as lifelike and organic as possible.
I am a doctor and a biogeneticist, not a tinkerer or a techmaturge.
Oh, what? In a what now? She clutches her chest. She knows full goddamn well what those words mean, by the way.
You are certainly not alive.
Whoa, honey, I could have told you that from the get-go. I've been dead for years. Now, moving on, this body is not working
Not
for me.
alive. It is not biological. I cannot fix it. You are an engineer's problem.
Where'd that engineer go? She goes to turn around for Waldar.
Yep. And thus Davis begins to storm out.
Complaining about her legs the whole way.
Which are working just fine. Just
They're
not
working
way-
perfectly, just
not
not
the
the
way
way
she
she
wants
wants
it
them to.
She
Yes.
doesn't have enough motion in those hips to sway properly.
I mean, she does. She just don't know how to sway them.
Yep.
Also, Sean, I'm
Yes?
judging you for your comment in Zoom.
As you
Yeah.
should. As you should.
It's all bad here.
Kresic just takes a very long, calming breath as this android goes running off after the engineer.
So what happened with the android? Why is it weird now?
I do not know. I believe there is a artificial intelligence that has inhabited its brain.
Another one, I see.
Most likely the one that was in the ship, if it is to be believed.
There was one on the ship already.
Yes, it was in the It's a long story.
I see.
Now, what can I do for you?
Now I'm also here for my checkup. I was just on a... I was rather intrigued by that, keeping an eye on that android.
I would advise you continue to do so. I
Sometimes
do
I
not
think
like
I
it.
killed it.
I do not like it. I do not think it will harm us intentionally with whatever intelligence is guiding it. But I don't like it.
Well, if you're busy, I can just go on my way now.
Oh, let me just do a quick scan. And he just does a quick scan.
Yep. Which, as near as will tell you that she seems to be okay. Everything seems agreeable. But you are not one to let up on your due diligence, Doctor. So I think that we'll. Good.
Yep. He just says, "You seem to be fine. You may continue about your duties. I will rest. I'm feeling a little tired."
Yeah. Take care of yourself, Doctor.
We will.
We.
And he just walks away.
Yep. Yeah. Well. Meanwhile, back on the bridge, Azek, the Yon is making a is making a very steady jaunt towards the Azure Nebula. Indeed, visual sensors at this point are allowing it to fill up the screen, even at without significant magnification. It should still be safe to warp partway through the nebula. Though there may obviously be other navigational hazards as you go in, and at a certain point you will want to drop out near enough the coordinates you were given, so as to avoid any major surprises. Let me fix the zoom on this here too. How is Azek handling everything today?
Enjoying a nice cup of Ractigino, flying casually as to not draw attention to ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. The sensors have pointed out that there are a few warp signatures that would be traders and or likely freighters and other lighter peaceful elements. Whether you decide to make any sort of change to conceal yourself is up to you, but that is I think that at the way that you're approaching things, I think that it would be. I think that most people wouldn't pay you any mind. You're just one of many ships that will make the pass for their own reasons, and so long as you give them a wide berth, they're probably fine.
So one of these ships is supposed to have our crew member on board, theoretically, or
Uh,
know of where to go.
One of them could, but they, well, if you want to, I could give you that Vopri conducts a scan here. Um, I will say,
Well, I was thinking if we, Azek was thinking that if we go by trial of elimination and we just start eliminating ships along the way, then we eventually we'll find the right one, right?
possibly, but space is very big. The Azure Nebula is also very big, and they could be coming from the opposite end without you knowing for certain. I would also say that your sensors, while they are good for tactical purposes, like a rumor abounds that Klingon sensors can detect a phaser being fired on the other end of the sector. They're not so good about telling you exactly what life form is where. That being said,
If
go ahead.
I was going to say if our illustrious Tabak had heard exactly what I said, he'd be rolling in his bunker.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I knew what you meant by that.
Wait, which part did I miss?
By trial of elimination, we've got a bunch of ships in our sector. If we start eliminating the ships, eventually we'll get to the right one.
God, I took your meaning there. Just the stop attack and move on. Vilpro,
That's not necessarily a bad idea.
God. I am on a Klingon ship. This is a Klingon game. If any of you doubted it, here we are. See for yourselves. Yeah. Azek, for your part, you have had Vopri running scans. Unfortunately, without knowing more about the vessel that we are looking for, if they are about, I don't know what to tell you. I can, however, say at two successes, um, I can detect a handful of mostly freighter traffic. It seems at least one Enolian craft, one seemingly possibly a Rytelian design, another that I do not recognize. It's very hard to work out precise context beyond a few light years.
So we don't know what specific class of ship we're looking for, right? I mean, freighter, yes, but not like species.
Well, you actually honestly don't even know whether it's a freighter. Like, here's kind of the situation as it is right now. You did intercept a freighter in the last couple sessions. That was your first target, and from what you gained when you attacked them, you learned that there is basically a smuggler's hold type thing. What I would say you could reasonably infer, given your long background and like the way Azek might understand this situation, chances are if there's more than one Kzinti involved, they have perhaps a raiding vessel of their own, maybe something that, at least by Klingon analogy, would be closer to a raptor or a bird of prey, some sort of lighter craft. Even in your reality, they didn't run with, like, big battle cruisers or something of the sort. At least I don't imagine they did. Also, just as a bit of bookkeeping note, I am going to assign you guys at least 1 point of momentum here after the Doctor's earlier very successful roll. I figure a lot of that goes towards generating a very specific advantage, but they still get something back.
Yeah, just a memory worm that I can suck people's memories into me. It's very safe,
Oh, so
very secure.
somebody that basically, when Kresik exposes him, somebody that can actively take knowledge from everyone, like reducing intelligence of everyone around them.
Nice parasite, brother.
I understand at least one of my players has opinions on that.
One.
Listen, I'm not doing it to boost my stats.
That's fair. Though I should clarify, not so much opinions as a solution.
Yeah, I'll bomb. C4 on the head.
Yep.
Ah,
This might be
good
a
application of serious putty.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. You were saying, Joe?
This might be a bit of a stretch because this involves spending momentum and giving us a plot hook ish. So since it's two momentum to try to give us a plot thing, right? This might take four of them to do it. Can we spend momentum to cause the ship we're looking for to have engine malfunctions of natural designed to draw our attention, but nobody else's?
That's a.
That is an interesting request, and I'll tell you what, Joe. I could make something like that happen, or I could make something distinctive happen. I would need to get you somewhere first. So, would you like to proceed to the outpost? And
Yes, that would work fine.
all right. Well then, let us get
Would you
you.
like me to spend the momentum now or
Hold on to it for
later?
now, and just
Okay.
bear in mind you want to
Got it.
reserve it. But let's see. Nogri, your Creel helmsman, looks to you and says over his broad shoulders, Captain, we're on approach to coordinates. I believe it may be better taking us in at impulse from here.
All right, take us in for impulse.
Oh, yes, bossman.
Casually impulse. Don't draw attention to ourselves.
I I'm not quite best pilot, but I will make this as casual a warp drop as possible.
Why casual?
With a burst of light, the yawn breaks out of its warp bubble and drops to warp as the deck plates rattle in that subtle but particular way. Tabak, you make a quick beat up to the bridge, where as you enter in, you see the brilliant blue lights of the Azure Nebula before you. Have you called anyone else to the bridge, or had them meet you there, or is it just you?
I just went to the bridge.
Understood.
Basically, I'm here to find out what's going on.
Gotcha. Um, at
Status changed, and no one told me.
Yep. At this point, your daughter, Vopri, Azik, one of the Klingon, the goon squad, basically, at
The flying circus.
Yes, one of the flying circus, and is at tactical. Nogri is at helm. As mentioned before, Azik is in his captain's chair.
Yep. Azek.
Sir, we have arrived at the nebula.
Good. Mr. GM, you're going to have to remind me what we're looking for here, because obviously, again, I don't remember.
I am verifying based on the coordinates the doctor was able to extract, seeing if I can locate the outpost. Running sensor scan now. Vopri will tap a few yellow-orange buttons on his console and wait to start seeing results. Glancing over. Yes, I have a bearing at at about 65 Mark 2. Oh no, correction, Mark 2, 3. There is there appears to be some sort of trailing planetoid. It may have been captured by a part of one of the forming stars in the nursery here, but a good deal older. It does conform roughly to the coordinates that we have.
Any energy signatures?
I believe I'm picking up minor power signatures, perhaps a low-level fusion generator, but no signs of large-scale shielding, weapon emplacements, or any major defensive systems. If anything, if I were to hazard a guess, Captain,
I'm not the captain.
Old habits. If I were to guess, they are trying to, as I have heard Lynn Nix say, keep a low profile.
Understood. Isaac?
Yes, sir.
I've had Hemok rig a couple of torpedoes with those thermobaric charges, and have them ready on the cargo transporter pad as a just in case or as a revenge maneuver.
Just to add to that, just in case, should we rig some of those to the warp core?
No. Why?
Vopra just kind of Vopra and Nogri turn at once, like, what?
If things go bad, it's better to go out in a blaze of glory.
We fight until we die if we have to. But if we don't kill all of them and we get Woe back, we give them a present as we leave.
Rather bright present, you might say.
Only for a very short period of time.
All right.
Is there any way that we can... We don't have any kind of stealth systems. Mr. GM, is there any way that we can... Raldar and I, and maybe... suddenly I can't remember her name.
Kelshaw.
The other... Kelshaw. Anyway, we could reduce our signature, make us look smaller or something, or non-threatening, or...
I would think Klingon ships already have a pretty low EM signature as a means of hiding themselves, but of course Klingon sensors being what they are meant to get around that in large measure. It's honestly such that if you want to, a ship of your size is about the only way to think that you aren't particularly threatening would be to make it look like you are a pleasure barge, which you'd get the full Superintendent Chalmers inquiring about an Aurora Borealis type exasperation from anyone scanning it. What's a pleasure barge doing at in this part of space, in this time of year, localized entirely near our hiding spot, sort of affair.
That would stand out more than not being there at all.
Yeah, your better bet is to, at this point, if anyone's around, then Vopri would have noticed it, which he did not. That being said, the only way to really stealth
theoretically he would have noticed it. We hadn't seen his dice rolls. So.
Yeah. He did roll 3 successes on that, so
Okay.
I'd say that's good enough to say that it doesn't look like there's a ship nearby. All of that said, if you want to try to reduce your profile any further, that would mean going into silent running, which would be like taking the mains down, depowering some primary systems, probably running.
Yeah,
into thrusters.
we're not close enough to the base to do that. We don't have several hundred years to drift close to it.
Yeah.
So yeah. How about this? We plot a conical course, which basically means looks like we're going past it, but we're spiraling in as we go around it and getting closer. Just gives us more time to scan them passively before they decide to pay attention to us. It's like we take the long way around to get to them.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll use that as, like, narrative justification to say that, since Vopry in this situation is the key science officer, he does get at least I think by the, going by the more classic rules, I'm forgetting whether the Klingon rulebook makes the same allowance, but as sensor officer, he does get a free momentum for succeeding, which can be used to obtain information. So we can use this as the rationale that as you approach and Vopry continues to conduct delicate scans, you may pose questions. So you do also have 5 points of momentum available. There was one that I had given you, but that Joe has not drawn. I will also say hello to our friends at the Architects of Fate. Welcome in, everyone. You are catching us in the middle of a Star Trek Adventure stream, where we just, not a few moments ago, had dropped out of warp in the Azure Nebula. I'm milking that effect for what it's worth.
Yes, you am. That's okay.
Yes.
All right. So, how many questions do we get before we have to roll more dice?
Well, I'll tell you what. Because I have forgotten this whole time to allow the decrease the difficulty roll take effect, I'm going to assign it here. I'm going to say that you get even one more point of momentum. I'll assign it. You're basically full up at this point. You have 1 plus your momentum pool's worth of questions that you may ask.
Ooh, so we can get 7 questions, huh? Should we wish to use that many?
Yes. After that, you gotta start rolling and replenish your resources.
Okie dokie.
I will allow you a moment of open discussion if people have ideas and you don't.
Oh, I have ideas, but I want to see if anybody else has any other ideas.
All right.
Anybody else have any other ideas for questions we should ask?
Go for yours. I don't have anything in particular. I can come up with something, but if you already have plans, I think that's good.
All right. So we'll take the first freebie question, which doesn't use up any of our momentum. Is it indeed a base, and how big is it based on energy output?
If I'm reading this correctly, the slight little Rantal says, glancing over his displays, it seems relatively small. I would guess there are only a few pressurized compartments, maybe one for living quarters, a large segment for a hold. There might be some sort of manufacturing material in small rooms, some of them not even some of them in the rock, others with more complete systems built around them, or rooms, what not. There also appears to be a dock. I will say I am not detecting any signs of life signatures. There doesn't appear to be anybody in the base.
That's disturbing.
If they are just using it as... If they're trying to keep it quiet, perhaps they do not bother to guard it. Oh, yes.
Or they're shielding somehow the life signs.
Yeah. Nogri will jump in. Both are disturbing possibility. On one hand, if their sensor coating is good enough to obscure biosign, well, that's pretty bad, and we could have a whole base full of angry cat people, which is not my idea of fun. On the other hand,
Yeah.
if it is unoccupied, then either maybe they abandon it or they leave. Perhaps they prefer to be small and nimble raiding posts, so they just leave things here.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm going to call Hemok real quick, as he's off doing his, boom boom duty. Hemok, how are you coming with the bombs?
Hold on. Did you want to talk to yourself, or did you want me to talk, or did you want somebody else to talk?
I want somebody else can talk because I don't want to have a conversation with myself.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm working on it. I'm not breaking anything here. It'll take some time here. Gotta adapt things a bit. Give me a roll or two.
Yep. Are you going to give we need a remote detonator, obviously, or a signal to cause the detonation to go off. Remember, we want to transport one of these somewhere, maybe.
Okay. So we're gonna need the control unit for the detonator in there, then.
Yeah. And you're already taking out the antimatter charge because we don't need any. And you could probably repurpose the propulsion computer.
You can imagine, given the moment of silence involved in what you know of your filthy tactical man, you can imagine that he might have inadvertently took out the control unit already.
Yeah, I figured. Get it done as fast as you can. We're going to need at least one of those soon.
Oh, okay.
If you need, get Raldar Kelshaw to help you out.
I'll get the players involved if they want.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Other questions?
Right, so, yeah, I don't know if this counts as one of our questions, but I mean, we can take as long as we want to get there, but how fast could we get there?
I won't deduct the momentum, and I'll just say plot convenient amount of time. I think plan is to get you there in the session so that you can explore.
Yep.
Risk is your business. No glory without rising to the challenge. We are Klingons. All that shit.
Yes, but I'm also a businessman, so Klingon, but still.
Yeah. Captain Azek has input here.
I do. Hang on.
You do. You can rush into this however fast you like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought I had other information besides that. Yeah, we could. How slow do you want us to go for it, or how fast do you want us to go for it?
We need at least one of those bombs ready. I want one of those bombs ready.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Want.
How long does it take to set one up?
Hemok is working on it right now.
Actually, no. Not Vopra for this, but I'll have Nogri say, well, bossman, the bomb may take time to work up if we are building a special torpedo. If nobody is there, then, well, In words of my Creole brethren, perhaps we have opportunity to claim the right of salvage. Find something useful there. Materials, things things of value for repair. Most importantly, lead on your missing friend.
Yeah, probably. All right. Azek, get us there. Have everyone ready and put everybody in a tactical alert.
All right. Set course for where we need to go. And attention, all hands. This is the captain. This is your Captain Azek. We are getting ready to have some fun. So everybody, get prepared. Yeah.
Sound the fun alert.
Set ship to go. I like that.
We could have some real. I look over at Tabak and say, "Hey, we could have some real fun and turn off initial dampeners for every place else but the ship or but the bridge."
Really? And when we accelerate, we will turn everyone else into jelly on the back bulkheads.
If they're warriors, they'll survive.
No one would survive with the acceleration we just did. Tabak to Hamak, you can just safety everything off and get to the bridge to tactical.
Okay. And with this, I'll give you guys one more opportunity. Anybody have any questions you want to ask?
Does this smell like a trap?
I'd say that, like, it's not baited sufficiently for a trap is the problem. Or only issue with that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a valuable opportunity, but the whoever runs this base, if they are the Kzinti, then certainly them, they haven't done enough to bait it. If anything, they have tried to obscure this as best as possible. And to be fair, big as this nebula is, and far enough off the beaten path as you are, you wouldn't have picked it up right away.
All right, just want to make sure because, top secret smuggler's den conveniently empty sounds like the perfect bait to bring in would-be scavengers and then drop enemy ships on top of them.
And I would agree with you if this were in an open habitable system, or even semi-habitable with errant signs of this. But the nebula really does conceal a lot. Nobody's going to look for a small little planetoid like this in all the soup.
Okay. That was my only question.
Yeah, I mean, we're still also going in, ready for a fight.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. I am deducting a point of momentum for assuring you that this is not a trap.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
You pay for your sense of safety.
Security. Yeah, I'm going to have Vopry continue detailed scans of this facility as we approach. I'm assuming as we get closer, the scan resolution will get better.
Yep. It appears we are entering transporter range. I believe I could... if you want to avoid anything with excessive machinery, I can place you in... there is a pressurized but largely rocky outcropping for whomever we want to be in there.
All right, so machinery is running?
It seems largely on a standby mode, near as I can tell, or there's not much activity. I don't know what is normal for it, but life support appears to be active.
Good. I'm assuming, Mr. GM, I assume you include artificial gravity in with life support.
Yes, though this is large enough to have some of its own gravity, but probably
not enough.
Yeah, probably not enough. So we'll say yes. AG fields are active.
All right. What's the gravity set to?
I'd say something comfortable
I'm
enough
asking
for
Vopri, so I'm not using up one of our
Hey,
thingums there.
it will be it appears suited for most life forms we would know. I dare say even the Gorn would be comfortable enough to stand.
All right. What do we know? Do we know what the gravity is on the Kazin homeworld?
Let me go stop the stream and the recording and read up on Larry Niven's known space and see what the. I don't know, Sean.
No, I meant in game, because obviously, if it's a Kazinti station, they would have set the gravity to match their homeworld, because that's what they're used to.
Yeah,
That's all.
That's presuming that these are Kazinti from the homeworld. You're asking a lot, or presuming a
Okay,
lot.
I got you.
I'm going to say Earth normal gravity.
Okay.
Konos normal gravity.
Okay. So anywhere between 0.85 to 1.05 G. Okay.
Yep. Pleasant enough.
Yeah. How tall are the hallways in the rooms? Can Vopri tell me that?
Vopri just looks at you with the biggest stink eye that the GM can convey.
My lord, are you stupid?
What would you like me to check the thermostat tool?
Sure, why not? No, just I need to know if the corridors are big enough for a Kazin to stand up comfortably. They're big, furry, angry kitty cats.
You assume they walk on their feet all the time, though. Like,
Yeah, but
bruh,
they do. Yeah, but they do.
Are you sure? Are you
Yes.
sure they don't occasionally walk on all fours?
No, they don't. They
Yeah.
walk up or upright.
Fine.
I will say
Ruining the dream.
Yeah, corridors are spacious enough. It's good. It could fit the bill. It like that. Such as you can tell, the area could accommodate Kazinti based on its dimensions.
Okay. Hey, come on. There's you got to take this stuff. You got to think about this stuff sometimes.
I am
Need
so
my
close to
cues and
deducting
clues.
another point of momentum.
All
I
right,
understand
all right,
the feeling.
All right. So, all right. Me, I'll take. I'm gonna beam over there. I'm gonna take me. I'm gonna take Hemok.
What other
Gonna
players
take
would like to be involved is a good question.
anybody else who wants to go.
Let's go down the line. Caligo, who would you like to bring
want-
if you want?
Take your pick, Lynn or Raldar. Pick one.
Well,
I mean, they're both dummy strong.
Take Lynn this time.
All right.
all right.
Last time we took, one time we took Raldar and we ended up with with his son. So
You know what? Fair.
All right.
Don't increase or decrease the population. I did both.
Rev, who would you like to bring?
More than likely, Kresic would go.
Gotcha. Ray, do you want to bring anyone on this mission?
Absolutely bring in Davis or Betty, whatever, whoever that is.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them.
No.
Dreddy or Bavis.
Dreddy or Bavis.
Oh dear, that's one of those is almost fitting for a Mike Judge spinoff.
Also, I would like to apologize for my joke, Mr. GM, but I had to put it in the chat.
Oh boy.
Thanks. Great. Okay.
I'm scrolling down to see what the hell
we can fit one more because that's 5.
Joe, who would you like to bring to the station?
Well, the captain's got to stay with the ship, and the transporter chief's got to make sure he's got somebody to get you out of there. So I'm staying on the ship.
Gotcha.
You guys go have fun.
If you like,
Should we take Junior? Should we take Junior?
I mean, if you want, I was gonna say, Joe, if you'd like to play somebody, Hemok could be either NPC'd or he is open to be run otherwise.
Can we make Vopri go?
No.
Don't make me leave the ship.
I mean, I don't care if you guys want to bring Tiny or Hemlock. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it was more a
I'm
question.
okay with wherever.
Yeah. If you don't have a preference, then you don't need to worry about. Like it was more a question of if you wanted to show up or if you wanted
Okay,
to have
so
a
we'll
character.
we'll take one of the flying circus, the best that's trained. He'll be our designated Klingon red shirt.
Yep. Okay. So let's see then. Just taking a few people, rearranging things up. Okay. So we have Lynn, Kresic, Tabok, and Davis here. All right. And Hamok, let's just put him in there. All right. So, we'll do a little bit of a scene cut. The away team assembles. Unless you say otherwise right now, I will presume standard gear. That is to say, if you want rifles or grenades, there's an escalation cost to be paid. You hopefully won't need it.
We'll take rifles. Well, no grenades, though. Not this time.
The GM will accept your threat. So, with a quick grab of weapons, in at least some of your cases, the five of you will go ahead and beam down to the surface. Oh dear, that's a bit loud. Also not. That's apparently going twice there. In any case, the transporter pad will energize, and you will find yourselves in a sparsely illuminated rocky building. Or, like, rocky outcropping. The temperature feels relatively comfortable. I'd say very slightly on the cooler side to you, Tabok. Or to any of the Klingons. Lynn, it's probably most comfortable for you. Or maybe even Kresic. But yeah, you see that you're in a section that seems to be partly like chiseled out of the rock, a few basic supports in place. The tunnel immediately to your right will take you deeper into the outpost.
What does the air smell like? Is it stale? Is it fresh? Does it smell like a bunch of sweaty miners?
I would say that it smells like life support's in decent working order.
Okay. We'll go off to where we've got to go off to.
Yeah, we'll head deeper in.
Okay. Let's see. So, there are a few branching paths, only one of them that has a proper set. There appears to be, based on the mapping, a cargo, like an area that contains cargo. There is an area that has, like, bunks and such, or some sort of habitation. There's the, there is a command type, or rather something that seems to be linked to computer systems, or have a number of those connections from what Vopri could tell. Likely a command and control type area.
Yeah, I want to head to the command and control area.
Okay. Who is heading where, or who would be heading with whom?
Kresic's going to head to the cargo and scan for the medical supplies. And try to see, like, okay, Are there any here? Or do we have any? Because if so, then somebody will probably be along to pick them up.
Okay, so we've got the natural split in the party. Who would be heading with whom would be the question.
Who's the weakest of the bunch? I'm gonna say Tabok. Tabok the weakest.
Vopri.
Vopri. All
Vopri's
right.
not with us. Vopri didn't come with us.
Of the party, who's the weakest?
I don't know if it's still me or not. I got better at killing people.
Well, fuck you. You're getting Davis anyway. So.
Okay.
At least you're not going to get hit on.
Well.
Right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
that's good. Well, wait,
well,
what? Wait a minute.
we'll see.
Okay. So I got Davis coming with me.
Well,
Anybody
hun,
else?
where are we going to? Which direction?
We're going that way, Command and Control Center.
All right. Ladies first, I assume. And with that, she walks ahead of you.
Okay.
Lynn, are you following them, or are you staying with the doctor?
I'd prefer the doctor not to be alone.
Well, it's fine. He's made plenty of great decisions while he's been by himself.
And definitely, he's never sleep deprived, so.
I don't want him to be clubbed in the back of the head by some stealth Kazenti.
Oh my god. Stealth Gazenti.
We don't know what they have.
He's got a point. We don't know.
That is fair. 2 and 2, and then Hamak and Goon number 6.
Goon number 6.
No.
What's his name? Guy?
Ron.
I'm sorry, I got the guy reference.
Yes.
What's my last name?
There we go.
I'd imagine that Hamak would probably go with the captain.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. So, the goon, I will rule, I'm going to say follows Hamok because that's how he's used to training and doesn't have the good sense of numbers, as it were. So Lynn and Kresic will just be preceding the two on your own.
Right.
We're pretty good. We're pretty good on our own, right, Lynn?
Yeah.
So as we're going towards the command area, I want to ask Betty, why did you leave the computer system?
Well, we had a truce, didn't we?
We? I thought we
Was
were
it not?
fine. I set up that separate system for you to be comfortable in.
Oh, no, honey, not that truce. That was never an option. It's sweet that you tried, but realistically, that was not going to work. I've grown used to the better luxuries in this life. I like having a body, as big as the ship was and that little program was. This is nicer. Plus, I can actually feel things. And I can smile. I haven't smiled in years.
One of these days, we're going to have a conversation about your past, if you're willing.
Oh, sweetie, I'm an open book. Read me.
That was disturbing.
Oh, the devastating day when Tabok reads Betty.
He's definitely gonna curl some spines and, well, crack them really, but you know.
Yep. The things
When
will...
she starts curling toes, that you got to worry about her.
Oh, you know, cracking spines, curling toes, same difference if you do it right. Okay.
So while the four of you proceed into the area, or like through the tunnels, the command may be a little bit further along. Kresic and Lynn, you will fall a little behind that group as you take a detour into what reads as a slightly deeper part of this outpost. Before you, there is a fairly large metallic door.
Not doors. My enemy.
Evil.
Are there any controls to open it?
There does appear to be a fairly simple control.
I go to push the button to open the doors.
Doctor, you fear the
Yes.
worst.
Okay.
But you know, sometimes your faith is just rewarded, and the button does exactly what it's supposed to.
Oh, thank God. I've been making so many poor decisions this
The door opens into a chamber whose dimensions you did not understand before. As you come in, it does indeed appear to be essentially a rectangular chamber of sorts, with various elements of cargo that are like boxes of cargo and stuff that are stuffed about. Rather than extending too far back, in addition to going back a certain ways, or like there being a longer end to this rectangle, as you look around, you also look up and you see that there are all manner of pods and things vertically arranged, and what appear to be claw-type systems capable of dislodging and moving modules down. There's also a pretty evident control system about, or like a console not too far from your point of entry.
You know, above the table, I was expecting the set that was made to not be the cargo room, and this concerns me. Let's return to regular table talk. Um, first thing Kresic is going to do is pull out his medical scanner and start scanning for both life signs and also any medical equipment.
This, I will ask for a reason plus medicine roll, and I will ask you for, I'll ask for this at a difficulty of 3.
How much momentum do we have?
You'd still have most of it, at least 5 points. Yeah, 5
5
points of
points?
momentum.
Can I spend one for a third die?
Sure.
One of my focuses applies.
I don't think so in this case, actually.
Xenobiology.
Not how it will come out here, no.
Okay. Pharmacology?
No.
Okay. Okay, I think I'll go with that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Pretty decent.
That's 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Oh,
I forgot it was reason and not control that was augmented for a moment there. Yeah, so that's going to refill your momentum. That'll bring you back up to 6, and that is going to give you an additional 2 points floating. Kresic, as near as you can tell, there isn't really much in the way of anything living here. or at least nothing that is presently active. I mean, you may detect signs of some containment units for foodstuffs, but your question hinged not simply on something being alive, but signs of medical technology. Well, there are signs of a couple devices that might be of some interest. One of them, however, is quite readily familiar to you, just at the edge of your scanner's range. A bit of equipment, a variant of something that you have used with remarkable frequency on your time as doctor aboard the Yon. And it appears to be, based on the energy signature, it appears to be active.
Oh no.
All right.
I think I know what that is.
Keswick's going to motion to Lynn. Keep your eyes out for any threats. I need to investigate something farther in here. And is going to approach the device.
As you make your way further into the dark recesses of the place, you find the glowing lights, telltale signatures of a tall, I'd say, standing. A radius is at least 3 meters long, and in very wide format. The active pod.
Does it have a window?
It does, but it is on a very opaque setting.
Does it have life sign readings?
You do have the ability to check biosign readings. I will ask you for an insight plus. That's insight plus medicine.
Would one of my focuses apply now?
Yes. Difficulty 1, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
Okay, with 1 success, or rather 2 successes, that will allow you to gain 1 bonus point of momentum on that. The pod shows stable biosigns of a life form in stasis. Life form reads apparently as females, roughly humanoid. Species parameters that you come to recognize after a moment of lacking familiarity, but you come to realize that you have seen them before. They read as Aaron Sen.
Aaron Sen. Where have I heard that before?
That is the biosign of a patient who you have not been able to help. For the last you saw them, they had been out of contact. You had lost it very abruptly when their transmission from Gleedan 2 failed.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
What would you like to do?
He's going to hit his comm. Kresic to Tabak.
Yes, Doctor. What's up?
Gleedan 2.
Well, what about it?
Whoever this is, has been hunting us since Gleedan 2.
What gives you that idea?
I found Luan.
Who?
Luan, the communications officer of Glidon 2, in a stasis pod.
Huh.
Tabak, your memory strains a little bit, but you do recall the agricultural colony, the place where you had the former captain's cargo had come from, and the power
Right.
play that went awry there.
Yeah, from the very beginning of the ship.
Yes.
Is she damaged?
She seems stable. I would like to get her out of here as quickly as possible.
Are there any other stasis pods?
Are there any other stasis pods,
Nope.
Mr. GM? Okay. This is the only active stasis pod with life signs here.
Can you take the pod? Is it
Can
individually powered?
Can I take the pod?
You could take the pod. You could disengage at the... She doesn't appear to have suffered any injury. She's just been basically thrown in the freezer.
Okay. I can remove her from stasis without any injury currently.
Who do you have with you?
I have Lynn.
All right. Just take the pod with her in it, separate it from the system, but double check it. Make sure there's no bombs or tracking systems built into it. I'm assuming Lynn would be able to detect most of those. Yes?
I can check it over.
Yeah. Get her out of here.
Very good.
I don't want you guys. I don't want you to leave. You two to leave just yet. I haven't made it to the command section yet.
I see. I will check whatever other records I can find here. But that is extremely worrisome. I do not think this place is near as safe as we assumed.
I didn't think it was going to be safe at all. So, yeah, please, Doctor, get the pod, check over the pod, and then get it back to the ship, and then keep looking, please.
As you wish. Lynn, you want to scan this thing for traps?
Yep. Alright, what do I need to roll?
It depends. We do have 3 momentum. 3 floating
yes.
momentum right now.
Yes.
So
Strictly
if we
speaking,
wanted, we could just...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say,
If we wanted,
Oh, go ahead,
we
sorry.
could just spend 2 to say it's not trapped.
Okay. Yeah. We'll speed it up. We're gonna lose him anyway.
Nope.
2 to say it's not trapped, and then 1 more to ask an additional question.
Go ahead.
Are there any logs? You said there was a computer station here, right?
Yep.
Are there any pertinent logs that he can recover?
Well, I think that... So we will revisit this here in a moment, but this will be an opportunity to break scenes for a moment and then come back to you in a moment, Doctor. But whilst you go back to the entry of the cargo bay while Lynn is on the far end assessing the pod, making sure it isn't booby-trapped for tampering. And you begin going through the entries one by one. It seems that it is largely a system... the system is largely set up to log when various bits of gear were accessed or pulled from different sections of storage.
Exactly. I'm
that-
trying to see if anything similar was taken
yes.
through here.
You try to filter through on the medical equipment, anything of the sort. You are trying desperately just to get through this because you need to find Woe. You need to find Woe. Woe is just ever on your mind. Like the need to actually do this. It is that these thoughts are persistent, loud, and very very easy to it's honestly very hard to ignore at this point. Woe.
She looks up. Krasik?
Hey,
He turns. Is there anything there?
Before you do see the signs standing at, well, maybe not entirely our full height. I might imagine. Do you think that Woe's drawn up, or would you imagine that conditions such that she's been in don't incentivize that?
She's gonna be on her knees, and her hands will be behind her back, and her head's tilted, and she's looking at him.
Whoa. Can you hear me?
She looks to her side, and then looks back at the doctor and nods once.
We are tracing your location. We are coming for you.
She looks back like she's hearing something else in the distance, cocks her head to the side. You coming for me?
Did I break up?
You coming for me? She nods again, like she's stuck in a loop. You coming for me? She looks around you. You're not far off.
What do you mean?
She looks like she's been slapped suddenly. Her head recoils backwards. Nothing. I didn't mean nothing.
Are there others where you are?
No. No, there's no one.
Are
She
you
leans
sure?
forward. She leans forward, looking really close. There's no one.
Is there anything more you can give me? Any information? Something.
I have to go.
Try as you might to hold on, Doctor. With that, you don't know if it's an all at once or if it's a simple fade. But Woe disappears within the blink of an eye.
Krasik, Captain.
Go.
We are close. And I think that's probably a good spot to shift scenes.
Indeed. And as we go to Theater of the Mind for this, Tabak, you in the time since then have been working to get yourself up to speed in the this command compartment that you have uncovered.
Oh, finally made it. Okay.
Yes, where I'll give you this. Would you like the opportunity to simply buy yourself Basically, would you like to spend 2 momentum in order to gain considerable information about this place and like operational behavior and even something of the raider?
Yes, as long as we have it to spend.
You still have a full pool, so I will do
Yep.
exactly that. A full pool I did not properly put up to date, so that's my mistake. Yes, momentum was properly filled by earlier rolls. Now bring it down to 4. So Taybach, these past, we'll say that it probably gets into a half-hour range at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been a terribly enlightening process, as you, under guard with Hammock and your fellow flying circus member, will say Graham Chapman for our purposes. You've picked up a few important elements. The closest assessment to this place is essentially what Nalgri mentioned as the second possibility. It seems that the raider in question here is a single ship, operating with a limited crew that uses this as a drop point, a place for occasional repair, that thanks to the rogue freighters that they've worked out, between that and what they can actually take for themselves, you've come to understand that they operate relatively off the grid. There isn't much on the personnel, but you have a vague sense, with some specifics, that there are at least a few different species involved in this crew. Some portion of Kzinti. Suliban are also there.
Are there personal logs?
There are not any personal logs being stored
Is there a
here.
commander's log? Or any kind of log?
They don't seem to keep it here. That's not that sentimental. What is valuable here, though, Captain, is our recent records of the relatively recent. It doesn't seem like they've been in station for a little while, but they have some details about the ship simply known as. Let me double check this here. Okay. The ship that you know as the Dead Ringer. Or that's at least what it's being called these days. In past times, it had a different name, as it appears to have been a Tuyuk class bird of prey. These are an older type of bird of prey, not necessarily as old as the Yan. Like, it is a newer design than that. It's probably got 30 years on that since the first ones came out of the shipyards on Kronos. Further, this particular bird of prey seems to have been, I would put its age, like, this isn't one of the first block either, so it's a comparatively newer ship, and however they acquired it, because what you can guess to be Kzinti-led crew seems to have been working to upgrade it based on what parts they could acquire. As with any bird of prey of this type, which was built first and foremost as an exploratory vessel, or such that the Klingons would build it, it is basically a heavily armed scout. It outscales you at a scale of 3, and they are built with sensor systems which have been kept up to pace, and improvements to the power system. It seems as though there are varying records of modifications they had swapped out. They are all very tactically oriented, but the records seem to be corrupted from the last set, so you are only certain that they have either upgraded the targeting systems or had done something with armor. I'm lampshading this to effect that basically they have a tactical, or they have a warship profile.
Yeah, they're bigger, badder, and more heavily armed than we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now that based on what you have here, this is a lot of bad news, unfortunately, because the known elements of this tell you that while your ship is at least a bit more maneuverable or would be a little better at evading them, they do have something in a knockdown, drag-out fight. And on top of that, they probably could still turn and affect pretty brutal damage. They can outpunch you. They can take more hits if they have certain. Depending on what upgrades they have, they might have an easier time hitting you than you think, or they might be able to take more of a punch than you.
Yep. Is there a log entry? I mean like a computer log, not a personal log, of how often they come back here?
It's a bit.
And has our arrival been logged by the system?
The system does not appear to have logged your arrival yet, so you retain, or you're at least certain that the station will not forewarn you, or will not forewarn them. But you do know at this point that they come in on a slightly irregular basis. They at least make a stop every 4 months, though sometimes those visits appear to be narrower, kind of depending on circumstance.
How long ago was the last visit?
About 3.5 months. A little over. They are probably due.
Yeah.
But to top all of this off, Tabak, you have been brought up to date on the Dead Ringers' operations. Or rather, not their operations, but on the status of one current prisoner aboard the ship. At least if the doctor is correct, as he has told you everything that has happened with the Woe encounter.
So they have her on board that ship. Hello?
That appears to be the case, yes.
Okay. All right. What interactions are, I mean, again, the computer would log certain things. What kind of interactions does this computer system have with their computer system when they come in for a visit?
It appears that upon remote command, it enables basically refueling operations, some automated repair arms that are used to handle any breaches or armor issues, things that can assist them with repairs or upgrades for the external parts of the ship.
Okay. Okay, so they do make communication with the system on here. Okay. Tabak to Azek.
Go ahead, T-Bach, sir.
Who do we have in our crew who's good at viruses, as in the computer kind?
You cut out on me. What was that?
Who on board right now, who among the crew is good at writing computer viruses?
DuPont's fairly decent with computers, though his specialty is transporter.
Oh,
What do you have in mind?
forgive impertinence, Captain, or my lord, both of you here. Do we not have walking one in sexy Orion body?
Oh, Betty.
What? I'm sorry, I can't hear as good. What's going on?
Right. I have an idea, and I want to know if you are willing to help.
Oh, well, you haven't asked me for anything in quite a long time. What What can I do for you, Captain? She sidles up to him. Not at all seductive.
Yeah, no, I got that, and it's a big Orion male body, which is like
No, but she has not figured out how to stop those pheromones, buddy. So enjoy that.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's not working on me. So yeah, sorry about that. They have woe on their ship. Our ship cannot take them. They're due shortly to come back to this base. When they get here, they send a signal to begin the refueling and auto repair processes. I need a virus that will cripple their ship. What that transmits when they make connection here. Can you write a virus, or could you become the virus?
Oh, sweetheart. I can put any baby to bed if I so choose. And with that, she leans forward. Let's do this thing.
Cool.
All right. I think that on that bit of agreement there, I think that might be all the time that we properly have for the session. So I think let's call it there, and we will come back with this next week. If you guys could stick around for a moment, we'll chat a little bit here, just the last few minutes. But yeah, for those of you joining us in the archive, I hope you all enjoyed, and we will be back next week.